Hi, Andrew Kramer here again. Okay, here's what we got. We have this dancing maniac here. All right, look at these moves. I just want to point out there was actually no music during this dance session. So, I mean, this is all in his head, man. This is just pure ability. Yeah, let's close that out. Okay, what we're going to do is create that dancing silhouette effect, okay? So, first thing we need to do is get rid of the green. So, I'm going to select the layer, Effect, Keying, Key Light. Brings up the effects controls. Now we need to select the green, click on it. All right, then I'm going to go down to the screen pre-blur, set that to 2 so that our edges aren't too choppy. Then I'm going to go to the screen matte, clip it, say 50. Make this a 70. Turn on the toggle transparency, zoom in here, see how that looks. Yeah, looking pretty good. Well, let's try to get rid of a little bit more of that shadow. So we're going to clip some more of the black at, say, 55. Oh yeah, that's looking good. All right, let's move on. Now we have a problem, okay? There's all this stuff in the edges. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Andrew, why didn't you just take the green screen and put it long ways? Well, we were going to do that, but we thought it would be a fire hazard because, as you can see, there's a fire extinguisher here indicating below this item just in case there is a bunch of boxes stacked up and you can't quite see the fire hydrant straight on. You will know based on the sign it is directly below it. Not to mention, there's all these tables here and, we'd have to put it back, just forget about it. Anyway, I'm going to turn this effect back on, but lucky for you, he doesn't go outside of the green screen, okay? Now, a lot of times in production, you won't actually have just lazy, production designers. There's actually limitations for the particular effect you're trying to get, and they're usually pretty good about making sure that the subjects stay inside of the green area. So, maybe I did it on purpose. Moving on. We're going to get rid of that by making a garbage mask, okay? So I'm going to select the pen tool, and I don't want to use the Roto Bezier because I want to have a little bit more control over where my points go. So with the layer selected, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, hit the tilde key so we can see this full screen action. Okay, go ahead and click right here in the corner. Come down to this turn point right here. Click. Hold the mouse down until it kind of rotates around this turn. Click over here, come right across here, click here, come on up here, and finish it off. Now, when you're doing a mask, especially a garbage mask, you want to use as few points as possible, okay? I don't want to see anybody going in, clicking 1,000 points, zooming in, clicking 1,000 more. I swear, don't do it. Don't freaking do it. All right, moving on. Now, I want to do some other stuff, but I don't want to see my mask while I'm working, so I'm going to click on this little toggle masks. Shut that off, okay? We don't want to see it for now. We know it's there. We don't need to see it. Now, I'm going to collapse all this. With the layer selected, we want to make this a silhouette, right? We want it to be black and, a silhouette. So with the layer selected, I'm going to choose Effects, Color Correction, Hue and Saturation. Bring the saturation down to -100. That'll make it black and white. Then, here's the tricky part. I'm going to bring the lightness down to -78. Seems like the right number. I'm going to go Effects, Color Correction, Add Levels. And as you can see, the data is pretty much still there. So we want to actually crush the blacks by grabbing this input black about right here. Then I want to just bring back a little bit of the data in his face. So we're just going to kind of, yeah, that's what we want to do. Okay, I'm going to go to Layer, New Solid, and I'm going to choose a color for the background. We're going to go for like a orangish, yeah, something like that. Hit OK. Very nice. I'm going to take this layer, drag it to the bottom. I'm going to click on the layer, hit return on the keyboard, and type background. Keeping track of these guys. And we'll call this Dancing Guy. Dancing Guy. Okay, next thing we need to do is make a dance floor. Now, We could just, you know, position this guy into various interesting poses, render it out, and have a commercial, you know. But actually, I want to take this a step further and kind of show you some other really, really cool techniques. So we're going to go ahead and skip the easy button and go right into the complicated stuff. I'm going to go ahead and reset the changes I made here. Transform, reset. Okay. What I'm going to do is make a dance floor for this guy to be dancing on into 3D space. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a new solid, and we're going to make this thing big. I'm talking full-on dance floor, you know, like the one, you know, the $400 dance floor, not the $100 dance floor. We're going to make this thing 1600 by 1600 pixels, okay? That's a square. I'm going to hit OK. And now we just have this huge freaking layer. Okay, with the layer selected, I'm going to choose Effect, Generate, Checkerboard. Okay, this is going to be one of those fancy checkerboard, you know, dance floors. So we're going to make this thing like 100 pixels. And now you're saying, okay, this doesn't look like any dance floor I've ever seen. Well, that's because we need to make them 3-dimensional. To do that, I'm going to hit F4 to bring up the 3D parameter switch if it's not already up. And for this layer, first I'm going to select return, call it dance floor. Well, before I go on, I'm going to put the dance floor below the dancing guy and turn on the 3D switch for both of these layers, okay? And as you can see, this little gizmo pops up for the 3D layers. Now you're saying, okay, this still doesn't look like a dance floor. What are you going to do? Well, we're going to select the layer, go to the rotate tool up here, and we're going to rotate it on the x-axis. That is this red gizmo here. Holding down shift, I can rotate it in increments of 45 degrees. Well, say I get in here and I just screw it. Oh, crap, right? And for whatever reason, I didn't have any undo levels on. Well, if you go up to the rotate tool, double click on it, it resets the rotation value. Pretty cool, huh? Well, actually what we're going to do is we're going to select the x-axis here, hold down shift and rotate it until it's disappeared and it's a long line. Now, we need to be able to edit this and edit it in a way that we can, you know, see what's going on. Well, if I move this down at his feet, you see, okay, well, where exactly is his feet? We can't quite tell because this is a perspective view. We can, you know, we can see off into the distance. The squares right here are smaller than the squares up here. Well, we're going to switch it to an orthographic view. And what that is a view that is flat. So we're going to go down to the front view. And now we can see the layers in sort of 2 dimensions. And I'm going to move this layer down to just below his feet, kind of scroll through, and this line right here kind of represents the bottom. And make sure that it doesn't, see, his feet kind of come down over it. We want the ground to be below his feet for the most part. So that looks pretty good to me. So now I'm going to go back to the active camera, which is just the composition's default view until you create a camera. And now I want to add some dynamic to this. So I'm going to go to Layer, New Camera, select OK. And now I have this brand new cool tool called the Orbit Camera tool. And what it does is it orbits